being comfortable with being uncomfortable. I didn't really realize all that I had to do in order to be successful on and off the court. Being uncomfortable or being comfortable with being uncomfortable is like my main takeaway, because that's the only way that most people will learn to grow,
Sure.
and like on and off the court, grow their game, grow their mindset, just grow as a person. That is one thing that I will definitely preach, because that's what I took from it.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, near or far, high or low. Welcome back to the Coach D podcast, where today I'm joined by special guest Lesila Finau. Lucila has played her college basketball at Colorado University and later at California Baptist University before taking her game to the professional level that includes Germany, along other countries as well. She's now entering an exciting new chapter with the Oakland Wolves in the Super League Women. So we're going to dive deep into her journey with the lessons that she's learned overseas. We're going to discuss her approach to guard play and the mindset it takes to perform at the highest level. So listeners, please give a warm welcome to Lesila Finau. I appreciate you.
Hello, happy to be here.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I mean, honestly, thank you so much for your time. And just before we even get started, how was your physical and how was your mental?
Physical, not too bad. We are kind of doing two-a-days, so still kind of getting used to that since we've been out here for a month now. Mental's
Nice.
good. Obviously, that definitely wasn't the case. Well, maybe not obviously, but I was struggling a bit at the beginning, just trying to get this new offense down, and just,
Mm,
how it is getting onto a new team.
yeah,
But I will say, after this week, since we don't have a game, we've been focusing a lot on ourselves and how we can just moving better ourselves moving forward. And so I can say that I'm definitely more confident after this week, which is nice.
nice, nice, and that's good to hear. Because I mean, I was even saying this off camera, and we're definitely going to speak about it more during the podcast. But it's a lot to take in. You know, when you're coming to a brand new city, you're getting used to new teammates, new basketball culture, what the coach demands, and just it's even outside of all of that, making sure that you feel comfortable, you know, which I'm sure you're definitely taking steps to. But before we even speak about that, listen, like, can you take us back to your introduction, just with regards to where was you and who was the person who placed the basketball in your hands for the very first time?
Oh, it's funny that you even ask, because after practice today, it was our first hot seat moment, so to say.
Okay,
And
okay, nice.
one of the questions I got asked while I was in the hot seat was what made me start basketball. And
Yeah,
so back to the story. Basically, I have an older brother. We grew up together. We were in the same grade, so everything that he did, I wanted to do. And one of the things he did was play basketball with his friends. So, of course, being the younger sibling, I wanted to do that as well. So, yeah, my brother got me into basketball, and it's honestly interesting because I started my journey late,
yeah,
so to say.
hmm,
Um, because I didn't officially get onto like a club until I was 12 years old. Everything
okay,
was just, on the playground just for fun.
yeah,
So yeah, I officially started playing real basketball at 12.
right.
And yeah, that's the start of the journey.
Right. And just with regards, because I always find it fascinating, like, and this is one thing that I've learned doing this podcast now, you know, speaking with high level pros like yourself. It's cool for me to understand, because obviously growing up here in London, basketball is, I mean, obviously football is like an international sport, so everyone's on the concrete playground playing football, but basketball is still very much growing here in the UK and London, whereas the US, it's like, depending on the region and if you're on East Coast or West Coast, yes, you're being introduced to basketball, but it might be a different type of influence or style. So around that time when you was playing basketball with your brother, what did the basketball coach look and feel like during that time?
It's kind of hard. It was a long time ago, but from what I remember, I definitely know that basketball was like the main sport that every kid would like be playing for the most part if they weren't on the playground or playing
Mm,
tag or whatever. Yeah, I wasn't really into any other sport as well because my brother wasn't playing any other sport. So,
mm,
yeah, it was definitely just basketball, basketball, basketball for me.
yeah.
But I was also answering this in the hot seat as well. I also didn't like watch a lot of basketball either
Okay.
growing up. So it was just playing or nothing
Yeah. Yeah.
when
Yeah.
it came
Yeah.
to basketball, which is odd for most basketball players.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, but the your question is a bit tough for me because I wasn't paying attention to it
Of
other than
course.
when I was playing it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I feel like even whether this moment happened back then or later on, whether it was in your high school, college, or even your pro career, like I feel like every player, Lucila, has that moment where the reps start to pay off in the game, where whether it's the game starts to slow down, you see the double team, you see where the help is coming from, or you make the two free throws to win the game, or everyone does that countdown, three, two, one, to make that buzzer beater. Like, when was that moment for you, Lucilla, when you realized that you was nice at basketball?
I would have to say so I started 6th grade. I think the transition between 7th and 8th grade because at that point I was playing up in at my club team and
Okay.
I was also playing up for the summer league team for my high school. And so I think that's when I kind of started to realize like I was decent,
Yeah, yeah.
and it wasn't even until high school I realized like what an offer was. So like my education about basketball didn't really grow until really late high school, early and then college, obviously,
Okay.
until those types of years. So, yeah,
Right.
I would have to say around, like, age 13.
Yeah. Wow. And at what point then did you realize that basketball could take you to the college level or even the professional level?
Uh, this was in my 2nd year of high school.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's when I started to receive letters of interest from colleges, and that's when I realized, like, oh, it's possible to even like, to get a scholarship to play
Yes.
basketball
Yeah.
in college. So, yeah, that's when I realized it's pretty late in the
Yeah.
game, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And what's the because I'm quite curious to know like what that journey and thought process was, because it's one thing to be like, oh, like people actually find me super gifted in the sport that I love, and okay, now I have to get used to offers or scouts or coaches coming to watch me play, and then I'm thinking about, okay, like if I want to take my game to the next level, what requirements do I need, or like what things do I need that will make me develop not just as a person but as a player as well. So what were some of the things that you was looking at through some of these colleges or letters you were receiving that qualified for something that you wanted to be a part of?
Uh, I think the main thing that I was focused on was how I felt when I went on a visit to any
Mm,
college,
yeah.
how the coaches and players, like, made me feel. With my school that I picked that school because they really made it seem like a family environment. Like
Nice.
the coaches, head coach and associate head coach, they were husband and wife. So I got that family feel and their kids were always around. So like
Nice.
it really felt like a family
Yeah.
and we were always with them as well. So and like you watch the kids grow up throughout the years. So that's one thing that I was looking for when picking a college for sure.
And making that transition, from the high school to the college, especially over in the US, for some, it's quite the big jump, because
Oh,
they
it's
go
right.
from being the number one option in high school to now I'm on the floor with 12, 15, 20 number one options, and
Right.
I mean, from what I've gathered so far, for some it can take a minute to adjust to, okay, I don't have the ball in my hands. How can I still contribute to the team off the ball? And okay, like I'm not the number one option, so how can I still help out? So I mean,
Yeah.
during that phase for you, Lucila, like what was some of the biggest takeaways from playing at the college level, both on and off the court?
Uh, I said it during the hot seat as well today.
Love it.
Just being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
Definitely hard. Like I wasn't even 18 when I got to college. So I was pretty young when I first got there. I didn't really realize all that I had to do in order to be successful on and off the court. It definitely took me some years, but yeah, being comfortable with being uncomfortable is like my main takeaway because that's the only way that most people will learn to grow
True.
and like on and off the court, grow their game, grow their mindset, just grow as a person. Like that is one thing that I will definitely preach because that's what I took from it because I was definitely not the most comfortable with the situation
Mm,
that I was in
yeah.
and I just had to learn from it and just work every day as everybody else is doing because they all want a spot as well.
True.
Yeah, that was my main takeaway for sure.
Yeah, see, and just the impression that I'm getting, and this just comes from, I can tell, just years of the life that you've had so far. You seem very cool, calm, collected, very level-headed, and I can just tell that just comes from a lot of experiences. And even with that, like, how did you handle the transition? So we've gone from high school to college to now from playing college basketball to playing pro overseas.
Yeah. The transition from high school to college, it was definitely just a lot of meetings with my position coach. She helped me through a lot and I give her all my flowers, She
Nice.
helped me through tough times, good times, whatever it was, she was there. And that's not to knock my head coach.
Mm,
It's just because like I said, she was a mom
yes.
and I should have known she was always going to be there for me, but I think I was just kind of scared to go to the head coach.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That was my outlet, my position coach. And then transition from college to pro, it's kind of more of a me thing, believing in myself, sorry.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm able to play at this level because I've had so many years of experience and all these years of growth to get to where I am today. It's definitely basketball is a mental game. So
So true. Well said. Yeah.
um, yeah, definitely just knowing that I am where I should be. I'm here for a reason. Like you said, all
Mm.
the work that I've done has put me here. So just definitely being confident in what I bring to the table.
Why do you mean that? Because you said two things which really struck a chord with me. One, you said that basketball is a mental game, which I 100% agree. You could have a player who has the physical attributes and skill set, but if they're not able to apply that in a 5-on-5 setting, or they're not able to make certain reads, then they're not going to be helpful to themselves or their teammates. And then you said, you are here for a reason and you're on the right track. What was that moment for you that sparked those thoughts of, I am where I'm supposed to be, and basketball is a mental game? Like what was going on during that time that made you understand that lesson, if that makes sense?
Um, honestly, I can say it's just been like moments throughout my entire basketball journey, throughout
Mm,
college and pro, but specifically after my first year pro. I had good numbers and I was my dream after that was to go to Australia and play BL1 there.
nice. Yeah.
And I was just hoping, just waiting, hoping for just a team to offer me and it never came. And I was very upset because I'm like putting in the work, I'm doing all that I need to do, yet the results that I want aren't, you know. aren't
Yeah,
available
showing
to
or
me.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Um, so I was like, I was definitely in my head, I was like, "Is it me? Am I not doing enough?" But I definitely came to realize, like, you're doing what you need to be doing,
Yeah, yeah.
you know? You're putting 100% into what you're doing on the floor, so just continue doing that, and the opportunity will come when it's ready for you, I guess. So,
Right.
I finally got the opportunity to go to Australia just this past summer, and even though it wasn't right away because I was at home for 2 months after my last season in Germany, I was at
Right.
home chilling. I was like, "Okay, it's another summer where I won't get anything, and that's fine." I've learned to accept that because obviously during the time that I'm away, I won't be able to see my family. So
Yeah.
now's the time to appreciate the moments that you do have, you know, take the time to be with them. And then it came finally once I stopped worrying about it.
Mm.
So
Funny how
yeah,
life works, huh?
I know, right? So I think that's the moment when I realized like, okay, like you're okay. You're
Yes.
fine. Everything will come. Just stop worrying about it, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that, man. And honestly, hats off to you for staying the course and trusting in your abilities and just knowing that you're on the right track. Because that's this is something that I've learned a lot. I mean, as a coach and as a player, like we can be our harshest critics at times, you know, and if we miss a shot, it's like, oh, I suck, and like what we like our self-talk is big, you know, which is why I really agree with what you said when it comes to basketball as a mental game, and to know that you was ready for that opportunity, but it didn't quite come at a time you thought it would, but you still stayed ready, you still put in the work, and then you eventually got that opportunity. That feeling must have just been sensational for you, man, honestly. And
Yeah.
just even on that, like I'm always curious to know, especially from your perspective, what was before you turned pro, what was your understanding of basketball outside of the US? Like, did you already have an idea of what the leagues were like and teams and things of that nature? Or is that something that you kind of had to learn once you became pro?
Um, I definitely learned once I became pro. I'm still learning, you
Yeah,
know, everywhere's different, every country's different. But yeah, I didn't do much research either on basketball overseas. I just knew that I wanted to do it, and I knew that it was something that I could do given my resume, so to say. But yeah, I had no clue what it was going to be like, and I got
yeah,
pretty lucky my first year. I was on the island of Madeira, and it's
yes. So
the island
yeah,
of Europe, they say. So I had decent weather, good food. So
mm,
I got pretty lucky. Because sometimes you hear stories of just people being in bad situations, but
yeah, yeah. I've heard. Yeah,
that's just, you know, usually the club. It's the club's issues, but thankfully I've had no issues. So yeah, I'm just taking every opportunity as, you know, something. It's basically traveling for free, but also doing what
yeah.
I love at the same time. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. And you just said it there, like, you know, you've played in Australia, Germany, Madeira. Like, what were the biggest cultural or basketball adjustments you had to make?
Just so in terms of basketball, just the way they play basketball outside of the US is, I mean, everywhere is different no matter where you
Yes.
go.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like in the US, it's common to play a certain type of basketball, whereas in Europe, it's not the same. So that's something that I had to get used to, and it's definitely more physical anywhere else you go.
Yeah.
Um, so that's one thing I also had to get used to. And then culturally, um, I try to embrace every country's culture that I go to. So, like in Portugal, I was trying to learn Portuguese, and
Nice.
thankfully, it was very similar to Spanish. So
Yeah.
I caught it. I caught on pretty quickly, but I will not say that was the case for Germany.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a whole
German,
other language in itself. Yeah.
yeah, German is very hard. but I would still like my favorite part of Germany was just going to the Christmas markets, like at
Nice.
night, drinking, yeah, hot wine. They call it glue wine. And it was so good. That was definitely my favorite part. So just doing as much as I can while I'm in the places that I'm at to be able to say that I did those things, instead of just playing basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And just with regards to like the overseas experience and growth, like what lessons did you acquire from your overseas experiences so far that you still apply to your game today?
I mean, it kind of goes with the mental thing, but
Mm,
just always like keeping a voice, like using your voice when you need to, like standing up for yourself because at this stage, um, you have girls I have teammates who are 30, and they're able to tell, thankfully we have an amazing coach. We're able to tell him when we need a break, when
mm,
we, just need some time. We like just I guess I don't I'm stuttering saying this, but
it's all good.
it's almost as if just always vouch for yourself, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
And that applies to what I was saying before when I was hoping to get the Australia deal and never got it. I knew I was good enough, and so just always knowing that I was okay, that like I was able to go somewhere where even though I had no offers, like I knew I would get there because I had the mindset that I deserved to play there, just always having your own back, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's one
Absolutely.
thing I think that I've learned while being overseas.
Yeah. And what is it like to do you I mean, are you able to have those moments, Lucilla, where you're like, hold up, I'm in London right now, playing the sport I love. I've been to Germany, I've been to Portugal, all these countries, and I've met so many friends along the way and great memories. And you're telling me this round basketball has given me such a crazy experience. Like, if you've had those moments, like what highlights or feelings come to mind when you do just take a minute just to step back and just admire?
Yeah, it definitely takes perspective, like, if I'm mad at myself, if I had a bad game, that's when I have to take a step back and just be like, "Okay, it's just basketball."
Yes.
But
Yeah.
like you said, look at the bigger picture, look at where I'm at, look at what I'm doing, and that's, like I said, why I try and take every opportunity to go and do something with my teammates or just, go to London, so to say, just try and do things that get my mind off of basketball so
Yeah.
that I can appreciate really where I'm at and the culture that is with it, So,
Right.
yeah, I think I get too fixated. A lot of us get fixated on, the sport we're playing,
True. That's
and
real. Yeah.
I think sometimes we just need to take a step back, get some perspective, and just be like,
Yes.
"Okay, it's just basketball," you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I
How do
think
you sorry.
oh, sorry.
No, no, no. You good, you good.
I was just gonna say doing things outside of basketball definitely helps.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like you even just read my mind there, or like I sent you my question through my mind or something. But like, how do you because I ask this because for me it can be hard at times. I mean, especially for me with my under 16 girls team. This is where I get extra critical of myself because I feel like every single training is like me being in class, metaphorically speaking, and then the game is like the exam. And for me, I can be very harsh on myself of I should have covered the pick and roll more, or if we lost, it's hard for me at times to kind of come down from that loss and be like, okay, let me take off the coach D hat and it's okay. What does Demetrius like to do? Okay, let me go read a book. Let me go watch some anime. Like, how do you separate the player who is the high level athlete who can read game scenarios, make big time plays versus the person? Like, how have you created that separation?
It's crazy because 'cause I've definitely thought about this question as well, like, and I've seen a bunch of things online. I'm not just an athlete. Like, yes,
Yes,
I'm a
here
great
we go.
athlete, but that's not what defines me. Um, like, have other interests, I have other hobbies. So I think definitely having whatever I like to do on hand. So I bring books with me wherever I go. I like to read. I go and take walks sometimes.
Nice.
I listen to podcasts on those walks sometimes. So just
Nice.
having an outlet, which is something different than basketball, is super helpful.
Right.
I'm trying to learn Tongan right now
Wow. Okay.
because there's I think Commonwealth Games coming up. I'm not
Yes.
3x3.
Yep. Yep.
Um, so and that's one thing that I've always wanted to do, but I'm finally taking the time to do that because I have the time to.
Nice.
So yeah, just having little things that help you keep your mind off what just happened in your last game, or like if you
Yeah.
had a bad practice. Like I said, it's kind of going back to what I said, just having something to keep your mind off basketball when you're not on the court.
Right. Right. Just even you playing and just being a pro, like how did competing against international talent influence your perspective on basketball IQ and skill development?
Uh, Back to the question about the difference between or going from college to overseas, I think that's also something to appreciate,
Yeah,
that not there's not one style of basketball to be played.
true.
So it's there's always learning going on wherever I'm at. And at this club, it's definitely a learning experience because my coach, he said it's our team, our culture is player based, player run. So we have to figure out our issues ourselves, and like he'll jump in when he needs to, but it's really up to us to figure out what we need to do, what adjustments we need to make. And I think that in itself is going to help my game even more.
Yeah,
So there's always learning to be done for sure.
right. And just even on that, like with the brand new chapter, and I must say, shout out to Bo Frost. I actually had her on the pod a while back as well, man. And even just to know that she's going to be hooping in the US, I just can't wait to see her in action. So the little shout out to Bo. Um,
Love her.
with the Oakland Wolves, you've recently joined, what excites you the most about this new chapter for you?
I think the fact that I am a part of a winning program
Facts.
from
Yeah.
last year, and I haven't been, and I'm excited to see what that's like overseas, just
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
having those crowds, those big moments similar to college, but it's different
Yeah.
overseas because that's all their focus on is usually just the sport.
Yeah.
In Portugal, we didn't have a big crowd, but I'm sure if we made it to finals, like the crowd would have gotten bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
In Germany, we didn't have big crowds, but our biggest crowd was at our last game because we
Wow.
promoted everything so much. So yeah, I think just knowing that I will be part of a winning team is
Mhm.
nice, just based on the fact that it gets the exposure that women's basketball needs, period. I
Right.
think that's what I'm excited about.
And even on this journey, like, how have you approached building chemistry and getting used to your new teammates and system?
I think spending time with teammates off the court is the
Yes.
best way to build that type of chemistry. You can be with them on the court as much as you want, but being with a team with only a certain amount of players, those your team switches every time. So you have different teammates every day, so to say.
Yes.
So that's going to look different every day, but taking the time to spend with different people, whether I live with them or not, is very important. Um,
Mm,
and that's, I think, what builds team chemistry for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and see, this is where, again, for me as a coach, I'm always learning, and even when I just reflect on the the people who I call, my family, all came from basketball, and it's like, yeah, we won games, lost games, but the moments that I hold close to my heart is when we would go bowling or when we would go and have dinner at a restaurant. And I've, spoken to, high level pros like yourself where they were like, look, coach, like, yeah, I've won this and I was the MVP of that and I scored 36 points. But to me, don't get me wrong, they appreciated that. But my highlight was the ride back home on the bus or, like going to so and so's wedding or like seeing them grow up and just, have life outside of basketball. And it's those moments, like you said, really translate to the game, So when you're on the floor, plays are just moving smooth. You already know if you get beat, your team is going to be behind you because they've got your back. So I love
Right.
that.
I agree. Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. And what do you hope with this new chapter in your life, Lucila? Like, what do you hope to bring to the Wolves, both as a player and as a leader?
Given that there's a lot of returners,
Yes.
um, I hope that I can bring just a defensive energy to the team. We're
Mm,
already
love that. Yeah.
pretty heavily defensive minded, I
Yeah.
guess, but that's one thing that I take pride in is my defense. So I'm hoping like that can help in any way. As a leader, I don't know if I would say that I'm a leader. Not yet at least, but
Right.
like I said there's returners. So I guess I'd leave it up to them for right now to
Yeah.
do the speaking, but there's also like I said I have 30-year-old teammates
Wow.
who've been playing longer than I have. So they also have, you know, stuff that I like tips that I haven't even heard of. So I'm just soaking
Mm,
everything in as of right now. But I'm not one to shy away from speaking when I need to. So
yes.
like to Bo, like
Right.
I give
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
advice when I need to because, she's younger, she's about to go to the States. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm just soaking up all that I can in any way because I know like Bo's telling me because she's a returner, Bo's giving me tips for how to get the offense down. So
Yeah.
we're all helping each other, which I love. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. And kind of just making a transition with regards to skills training and guard play. As a guard, how do you approach your individual skill training?
Um, During the season or in the off season or both.
It could be a bit of both.
Um, I try to get in the gym as much as possible in the off season, but it is a bit harder because California is so big and all the trainers that I go to are pretty far away. It's like a 30-40 minute drive.
Wow.
So the best thing that I do for my game, it's probably not the best, but what I do is I just play pickup
Mm.
at the local gym
Yeah.
with guys. So I'm playing 5-on-5 with random
Yeah.
men almost every day. It's probably not the best thing, but yeah, I think it also helps because one day I met someone who played overseas as well. He played in Portugal and he was
Ah.
giving me tips. So yeah, you never know who
True.
you'll meet and who's had the experience unless, you go out and do those types of things. And then in season, I think it's nice to have a block that are scheduled for individuals for me this season. So I'm working on whatever my coach is,
Mm.
telling us as a group to work on. And I think it helps because in a way, even though it's outside of the box, what we're doing are unorthodox, like I feel like it still translates to the game. Like
Right.
off balance, on one foot, shooting, whatever it is,
Yeah.
it translates. And I can say that I've never had a block for individual sessions.
Okay.
So yeah, it's nice to have that here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And with that routine, I'm curious, are there like some non-negotiable drills or routines that you keep so that your game stays sharp?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
One
Okay.
one thing I do always before practice, stretch. I'm
Glad you
stretching.
said that, Lucilla. Thank you. Yes. I love how you started with that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's because it's routine. It's like the first thing that I thought of. I'm like, okay, what do? I stretch.
Yes. Yeah.
Last year I was on it every day. I get to the gym 30 minutes early so I can do my stretches, and
There
then
we
by the
go.
time we're on the court, because we didn't have too much time last year, like I'm ready to go.
Right.
Um, this year I haven't been doing it as much, but I'm still trying to, get a feel
Yeah,
for
of
everything.
course. Yeah, yeah.
So stretching for sure. And then I do also just form shooting at the basket before I start
Okay.
shooting anything else. Just I try to get 10 swishes without hitting the rim in a row.
Nice.
Um on either side and then the top or just all 5 spots just right at the rim. And then that's when I think that I'm ready to start playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Those are
love that.
that's my those are my 2 routine things.
Yeah, I love that. And this is something that I find myself. Each team has always taught me something different. I found like with this team, I'm really just emphasizing the importance of the warm up. You know, you want to make sure you the worst feeling, and I had this as a player, was to not have a good warm up because you got there late. So by the time you finish changing, the ball's already been thrown up. So you catch the ball, you're cold, you miss a three, then you're finding yourself having to get warm during the game. That made me, as a player, want to really master that warm up, that mental preparation. And I'm glad you said warming up, stretching, just to get the body loose, to get the blood flowing. Now I'm, doing small little touches around the rim. So when I go out to the middle three, everything is smooth, So
Mhm.
I just love the fact that you really have that routine so that you're feeling at your best before the game. And in your opinion, like what are the most important qualities a guard must have to be successful at the next level?
I think being able to handle the ball
Yeah,
is one for sure. No matter if you're the one, if you're the or if you're a shooting guard, just like on the wing, staying in the corner, you need to be able to dribble the ball for sure because like I said, the physicality out here is definitely up a notch. So if you get bumped, you can't, lose your handle just because you get bumped. So
true.
that's one thing that I definitely think that all guards should be able to do. Also just being able to read the floor, read
Yeah,
your defense, or I mean, sorry, your in their defense, whether it be in the full court or in the half court, just being able to make certain reads. And I'm still learning
yeah.
with this offense too. Like I'm still learning to read the floor. I thought I had great reads before I came here. So yeah, definitely still learning. But I feel like that's one part of my game that is decent, that is
Yeah,
okay. Just visual like court vision,
yes,
that is one thing that I also take pride in. But also I said this to my coach as well, and he's been harping it on us because we're such a fast team. We just need to learn how to slow down. And I've been telling myself that I need to slow down as well
yeah.
because I'm go, go, go. Especially if I get scored on, I'm like, all right, now I need to
Of
get back
course, yeah.
going.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Got
I
to.
just need to realize when I need to slow down, when the
Mm,
game needs to slow down so that we can have that advantage
yeah,
rather than just a wasted possession.
right. And how do you balance? I mean, because there's only so much things you can fit in a day, and especially when it just comes to the player development side. How do you balance improving your strengths with developing areas of your game that need growth?
It is tough with the
Yeah,
schedule because I'm also coaching here as well.
nice. Okay.
Yeah. But I think honestly, I should be
Mm,
working on these things, but I think those moments come in practice as well.
yeah,
The only thing that I do once practice ends is just get up extra shots because who knows, like in practice I may not be getting those types of shots or any extra shots like I would just shooting by myself. So the only thing that I'm really doing to help my game is just getting extra shots up when I should be doing more. But as of right now, like I said, I'm still trying to figure out the schedule.
yeah.
So yeah, I think for me it is tough trying to find the time, but that just comes with finding your routine as well.
True.
What are you finding time for? I'm finding 30 minutes to learn a language. You can find 30 minutes to do other things. But like I
Yeah.
said earlier, sometimes you have to get your mind off basketball.
Yes. Well
So
said.
there's also moments where I'm just like, okay, I can't do anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just giving yourself grace, giving yourself rest also is important. So definitely, yeah, finding the routine, just and making sure you're getting enough sleep, enough fuel
Yes. Love this. Yep.
throughout that routine is also very important.
Yeah. Yeah. I see it. Those are fueling your body the right way, which I think is so key for young athletes to just be aware of and start practicing from now, getting the right sleep. No
Mhm.
matter how good that Netflix series is, you just have
Mm,
to listen. It's not going nowhere. It's still going to be there tomorrow. So just pause
yeah,
it. I know the feeling because I've been able to put it on pause. I
alright.
promise you it's going to be there tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
And then most importantly, just being able to stretch before and after the game as well. Like I love those three things you brought up. And I even love the fact that you're coaching as well. Like when you comes to just even coaching the game or just giving advice, you know, especially with the mental approach with players handling challenges, like what's your advice for players who are you know, adjusting to a new team, a new role, sorry, or a tough game?
Uh, yeah, I just said it, just give yourself grace because this journey is so different than what the college journey was.
Hmm.
You're considered an adult at this point. You don't have to ask permission. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe people weren't doing that in college either, but like now really it's just you
Yeah.
taking care of yourself rather than your coach is helping you. And of course, I know my coach will help me here, but it's a different feeling, I guess. So
Mm,
just giving yourself grace, giving yourself, just being patient with yourself and knowing that you will be okay in the end. And if you're not, maybe just this option, this choice wasn't the right one for you, but that just goes with whatever story there is, whoever has a different story than me, but
yeah.
definitely, yeah, giving yourself grace because things can be stressful, especially juggling coaching, juggling this a new team. Just being patient,
Yeah.
knowing that with time everything will come together for sure.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And what advice would you give to aspiring athletes who want to follow in your footsteps and play at a high level?
Uh, I think this all goes back to what I said. Just believing in yourself,
Yeah.
believing in what you're doing. You could put in all the work that like hours and hours on the court, but if you don't believe in the work that you put in, then it's all for nothing. So
Mm,
just making sure that you believe in what you're doing,
yeah.
believe that you're doing this for a reason, and also have why. Why are you doing this? What
Listen,
is
it's
your purpose?
preaching right now, getting me hype. Have a why. Why do you mean that? Because that's, yeah. Why do you mean that? Because I love that. I love that.
Because like I said, what is your purpose? You also need something that motivates you to do this. And my why has always been my family. Um,
Mm,
they're my why. And even in college, they were my why. I'm doing this to make them proud, not only for me, but to make them proud
of course.
of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just making sure that give yourself grace, make sure you have a why, but also believing in yourself and that you are able to live up to what you think you can do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And just a final topic before we wrap up with the Beyond the Game segment. Looking forward, what personal and team goals have you set for yourself this season with the Wolves?
Personal goals, it's quite early, so
Yeah.
I think the one that I've just been harping on just right now is knowing that the game will come to me, so just keep doing what I'm doing, keep keep trying and learning, like go over plays
Yeah.
just so that I can get this offense down, and then it'll become, like you said, like super smooth on
Yeah.
when it comes to games on the court. That's definitely a personal goal for me, is to understand this team's offense for right now, like right now.
Yeah.
Overall, I definitely want to be more consistent, whether it's my shooting percentage, my turnover ratio. Like I definitely want to improve those things, but also be consistent enough to where my coach trusts me to leave me on the floor for X amount of minutes, or
Yeah.
just when he needs me, when the game's important. Those are definitely goals of mine for this year
Right.
and right now.
Yeah, yeah, and you even just mentioned some key qualities there that I think really make a guard that can be impactful. So, in your opinion, Lucilla, what separates a good guard from a great guard, would you say?
I think that also goes back to making great reads,
Yeah,
um, whether it be offense or defensively, just knowing when to make certain decisions, when to slow the ball down, when
yeah,
to push the ball up the floor, and defensively too. Like I find myself gambling a lot on, like, when I think I can get a steal, but at the same time I need to realize like the risk behind that, because then gambling and not getting the steal leads to unnecessary rotations. So just staying confident in the defense that I am okay with the defense that I know and that I'm
yeah,
proud of, and not doing too much, but also just being as aggressive as I am on defense and on off as aggressive as I am on defense, being that type of aggressive on offense. That's
right,
another goal for me,
right.
because I find myself stuck sometimes,
Okay,
and maybe that's just because I don't have the offense down yet, but
yeah,
I find myself just it's just standing sometimes, and
mm,
I need to always be moving.
yeah,
So, yeah, I think those are just the few things that mainly reads, just so
yeah,
overall just reading the game,
yes,
offense and defense.
right. And beyond basketball, what passions or projects are you pursuing that people might not know about?
So I mentioned the learning Tongan,
Yes.
but I not right now, but
Mm,
I definitely hope to finish my master's degree,
nice.
and it's in forensic psychology. And I was even before even coming here, I was like looking at potential schools that I could apply to just to do that on the
Nice.
side and hopefully finish abroad. But I think I'm a bit far away, and online options are scarce.
Okay.
So I was hoping to do that while I was out here, but that's definitely something that I want to do. I want to finish school. So I'm definitely looking, but
Yeah,
once the opportunity arises, maybe then I'll finish.
absolutely. Absolutely. And just we're entering the final part as we wrap up the pod, which is the Beyond the Game segment. And this first question, I'm super intrigued to get your mind on. Listen, now this could go the life route or the basketball route or both. It's really whichever one resonates with you the most. And the first one I want to ask you is, what would you say is a skill that is taught by many but only mastered by a few?
What is a skill? Sorry, can you repeat that?
I got you. I got you. So the question is, what is a skill that is taught by many but only mastered by a few?
That is rough. That is a tough one. But I would say, um, I think listening. You can listen, or I guess it's like a two part, listening and understanding.
Okay.
I guess just being able to listen to what you're being told and understand it, but the understanding can only go so far. And that's both in life and basketball. Like if my coach is telling me how to do this one drill, I'm listening, but am I understanding it, or am I just
Mm,
saying okay because he's
yeah.
explaining it, and I'll I have returners who will show me, you know, how the drill goes.
Yes.
So I think definitely just, I guess, being able to soak in information,
Yeah.
like, and being able to understand it at the same time, because there's definitely a difference between listening and understanding,
True.
but they also go hand in hand, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe I'm not explaining it right, but
No, no, no.
that's
I'm following you. I'm
okay,
following you.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just listening and understanding, because I think it takes a different type of person to be able to just be silent and listen, rather than just someone who listens but says that they understand and then just doesn't understand at all, but
Yeah. Right.
maybe it's just their understanding of it, but
Yeah.
genuinely understanding the concept, the concept of whatever is being said to them.
Right.
So
Understood.
yeah.
Understood. That might be a first actually, which I like. I like. Okay. Next one. What is something failure taught you that success couldn't?
Geez. I think that failure is important for sure, regardless of what it looks like, but success isn't always important, because you can have all this success, but without failure, you're not really reaching success, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like, there's no growth happening with success. Like, yeah, okay, good job, you know? So it's just a matter of, I guess, growth,
Yeah.
because, yeah, I don't know how to word it right, but I guess just succeeding at something doesn't mean you're growing.
Yeah.
You're just, I guess, I mean, I'm not saying you or anybody specifically, but once you succeed, most people are complacent and are okay with where they're at.
Yeah.
But failure, obviously, no, I hope no one's okay with failure,
Yeah. Yeah. For
but
sure.
they are okay with it in the sense that they're growing and they
Right.
have to make, like, tweak certain things and maybe be comfortable with being uncomfortable in that
Mm.
failure, in order to succeed. So
Right.
yeah, that's, I guess, that's failure is necessary.
Yes.
Success is just a desire, I guess. I don't know.
Mm. No, that's true. That I mean, I would 100% agree because it's like even for just me as a coach or not being coach, just life in general. Like life is never going up, 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 up. It's like it might go up for a bit, then you have a bad day, then another bad day, then one good day, then three bad days, and then 10 good days, and then
Right.
half a bad day. So it's constantly going up and
Yeah.
down, and that's where
Not
the
linear.
growth exactly, and that's where the growth happens.
Yeah.
Final three, best piece of advice you ever received.
Um, oh man. I think this goes for like anything in life, that it's okay to not be okay.
Well said. Yeah, I agree.
Because even in the lowest moments, like, that's it's normal and that's okay. And whether you talk about it with someone or not, even better if you do, but it's definitely okay to not be okay.
Yeah,
And obviously, people deal with that differently, and I think that the best way is to talk to someone about whatever it is you may be going through.
yeah,
And even I should take my own advice, but like I said, my position coach got me through a bunch of tough times, so I
yeah,
think just being able to find an outlet to be able to talk to somebody about whatever it may be is really good, because talking, like, we're social beings,
absolutely.
we need that connection.
Yeah,
But just knowing that it's okay to not be okay and to find the help, that whatever help that we need in that moment, like, that's okay to need help as well.
yes, yes. Well
Yeah.
said. Well said. And so key because I mean, again, as I mean, you've probably been through it and you've experienced it, even at the high school level, to college, to the pro level. There's that high expectation and standard that every pro is measured up to, and if they fall even a smidge short of that, it's like they're considered a failure or they get cut from the team, and that can be a lot of stress and anxiety that all players can go through, and just the acceptance of, yep, I'm having a bad game, or yep, I've had, or I'm going through a shooting slump. Just you expressing that, all of a sudden you feel lighter and you're able to move on to the next phase, however that looks or feels. So greatly said. And just the final two now. The next one is more of a statement, and you have to fill in the blank. So the
Okay.
statement is, if it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't have learnt filling the blank about myself.
I wouldn't have learned. Oh man. If it weren't for basketball, I wouldn't have learned. This one stumped me.
Mm.
Hmm.
It's crazy because I can just how your eyes are moving. I can just see the highlights or the different
Yeah.
conversations and the different moments. So yeah, it's quite a lot to sort through. So yeah, no,
Yeah,
take your
it
time.
really
Take your
is.
time.
Okay. I guess without basketball, I wouldn't have learned. I think how independent I am. I think I wouldn't have learned that about myself because n- even in college, like I was very to myself, like my friends were my teammates.
Yeah.
Um, but I was super excited to leave home. Like because I
Okay.
was out of state.
Yeah.
And I it sounds bad, but I was not hitting up my mom for much
Yeah.
because I was like, okay, I'm on my own journey
Yeah.
to do whatever to play basketball, to go to college. Like, I want to be able to figure everything out on my own.
Right.
Maybe that wasn't the smartest idea, but I think that's also helped me kind of transition overseas as well because I am very independent. I like my own space,
Yeah.
but I also enjoy time with my teammates. Like, I definitely have a good balance, but I know myself well enough to
Mm.
know that I like being alone sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Me
yeah.
too. Me too. Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
real.
I don't think I would have learned that with basketball because I think if I didn't go to college, then I'd be staying at home with my family or maybe just going to a college close to home and not just being comfortable. And yeah, I think that's what I've learned throughout the years.
Yeah. I feel like that's been like a part of the theme of this podcast. Uh, being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Kind of just like stepping outside your comfort zone and just learning as you go, and just seeing what you're capable of. So I love that.
Mhm.
I love that. And the final one before we wrap up, Lucila, I'm gonna set the scene for you. So there's been a
Okay.
player who's been following your journey from college all the way to the pros. They've followed your journey in the different countries that you competed in, and they found out that you have released a book. So as soon as she finishes practice, she's on her way to her nearest Barnes and Nobles, or if you're in the UK, Waterstones, and she goes to the librarian, where can I get this book that Lucilla
Huh.
has just dropped? Librarian says, you just go upstairs, turn left, top shelf. If you go to the best-selling #1 New York best time seller, can't miss it. It's there. So she goes up the stairs now. She's super geeked and she grabs her book. She grabs it for the first time and she's looking at it, listener. And the question that I want to ask you is, what would the title of your autobiography be?
Oh man.
And please take your time with this, because
Okay.
even when I ask myself this question, it definitely takes me a minute. Sometimes I just have the chapter that I'm in right now. Other times I'm in a moment where I can, okay, this will be the title of my autobiography. But please feel free to take your time.
Okay. Yeah. This is another tough one.
So many memories, so many
Mhm.
things to look back on, the good times, the bad times, things that happen on the court, off the court. Man, it's a lot to filter through. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it would be something like what basketball has taught me about life,
Mm,
because I don't want to be defined by the sport,
yes.
but I also know that the sport that I've been playing has given me a lot of memories, good, bad, you name it. And I've learned a lot of life lessons while playing basketball. Um, and a lot of stuff has happened to me outside of basketball as well. But because I've learned so much through basketball, I think that also helps that transition to the off the court stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's what the title of my book would be. And I think that's only because, like I said, like, I don't want to be defined by basketball,
Of
but
course.
it's shaped so much of my life that it's definitely helped me get through moments on and off the court. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's what the title of my book would be.
Absolutely. Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's don't and I'm sure that'll change in 5 years. So,
Yeah. Of course.
it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. As it should.
it's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
pending. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And honestly, this has been honestly a pleasure to have you on the podcast, and even for the people watching this on Spotify and YouTube, a lot of takeaways, and the most important thing, I mean, at least for me, the takeaways is just the importance of stretching, fueling your body, and just making sure it's a understanding that it's a mental game, but also there is more to there's more to life than basketball, and you don't just wear one hat, and you're not just labeled as the basketball player. You are the human being, you are the person, and it's okay to not be okay, and even just the importance of having your why. I mean, for you, I understand that it's your family, and like, just even for the athletes that are watching, there's just so many gems. And for those who want to continue following your journey, they want to continue to follow the Oakland Wolves as well. When it comes to the socials, Lucila, where can they find you?
Uh, I am on Instagram mainly. TikTok, I do not post much, so I don't think I post at all.
Yeah,
So, you'll just see my reposts maybe. But yeah, mainly Instagram is where you'll find most of my basketball/life content for sure.
perfect. Perfect. Listen, do not worry. All of the links will be in the description of this episode. But listen, honestly, I appreciate your time so, so much. Thank you. Listeners, thank you again for joining us on another episode of the Coach D podcast. This is myself, Coach D, and Lucilla signing out.
Thank you.